Well, it certainly is a rich man's world. Nobody doubts that. It's 9:30 and you're listening to Monday Breakfast with Peter Cassidy, and my great pleasure to welcome back to the guest microphone in his usual spot on the dial, Ray Summers, President, Whitehorse Neighbourhood Watch. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Peter, and thank you for having
Nice to see
me.
you. Nice to see you.
And I have brought along a friend of mine. He may not be my friend after, or I might not be his friend after today.
Oh, what do you
But
intend?
Vince Joyce is going to tell us in a few minutes some more about the Whitehorse Community Support Register.
Great.
But just checking. I think we're all back to normal. We've all been to the Edinburgh Tattoo. Did you go?
No, I didn't. A friend of mine went to the dress rehearsal on, was it Thursday night or
I'm not
Friday night?
sure.
Thursday night, I think it was. And he contacted me over the weekend and said it was absolutely fabulous.
It was great, along with 300,000 others, I think, were there.
Is that right?
Yes, but no, it was good entertainment, and it's going to be available on video and DVD and all that business. That'll all come.
Look forward to that. Terrific.
And I
Well
think
done.
Channel 7 will have it on too, replay. Well, Neighbourhood Watch in Whitehorse is up and running. Crime prevention activities have started. Anti-theft screws were available at Box Hill Centro on Thursday the 4th of Feb. A big police optic day held at Centro. A project we have moved into is obtaining funding to assist with Whitehorse Police Bike Squad. They need $3,000 to get 2 teams of 2 officers each on the road. Each team has 2 officers. Get that clear. So when they've got their gear, they'll be out on the road, and that'll be to catch up because we're all driving slower. They'll be able to see us on our mobile phones and doing all those sorts of things. And they'll just tap on the window. And neighbourhood watchers come forward, and we're going to support financially Whitehorse Community Support Register to continue on with their valuable work in Whitehorse. The money in their original grant has run out, and it's been operating, and we think it ought to continue. And today I brought along Vince Joyce has come along to give us a picture in words of what Whitehorse Community Service Register is all about and the assistance it can give to the community. And I think I just about need to be on their list very soon.
Why? What have you forgotten?
Oh, I can see the signs.
That's it. Well, if you can still see the signs, it's probably not so bad.
Well, Peter, I'll hand Vince, and I'll hand over to him to talk to you about it.
Excellent. Vince, thank you for coming in this morning. And I've heard a lot about the Community Support Register since I think Graham Elder was involved in its early stages, wasn't he?
Yes.
And I started hearing about it then when Graham was a regular on the program. So it's great now that we can talk about it. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter and Ray. Ray, I do have myself on the register, so you could easily come on too.
Oh, he feels better already.
Can Peter come too?
Yes.
Speak for yourself.
But thanks for the invitation to speak today on an organisation with which I'm associated, namely the Whitehorse Community Support Register, and I'm here to give some background and day-to-day running information on this free service to residents of Whitehorse local government and police service areas. Most of us, where possible, as we grow older, would prefer to continue to live in our own home, and governments of all levels seem to agree. At home, you can better maintain your independence, have more control of your own health care, and continue to be involved in community and social life. Senior citizens and community support registers have been operating in many areas and under various names since the mid-1990s. They play their part in supporting people who choose to stay in their own homes by providing reassurance and well-being checks. The motto we have on our brochure is, feel safe, feel secure, and have peace of mind. The scope of the original seniors registers have now been extended to include people who have a disability or feel socially isolated for any particular reason. A few years back, we received a grant to set up the register in Whitehorse in conjunction with the local police. And by the year 2013, there were 33 registers operating in Victoria, not all titled as community support registers, and that was before Whitehorse commenced. So what does the register do? The Department of Planning and Community Development define it as community registers help people to feel more secure and give them more confidence to live on their own in their own home. People who are older or have a disability or are isolated for any reason can put their name on their local register and can, if they choose, be contacted by telephone on a regular basis at agreed times to check on their well-being. So the objectives of the community registers are increase the registrant's sense of security in their own home, provide a database which will enable local police to respond promptly to emergency situations involving registrants, help to establish, maintain a trusting relationship between the local police and vulnerable community members, help the local police to know about vulnerable local residents, provide a tool for information delivery, for example a newsletter, and may assist with information dissemination and provision of support in times of emergency during heat waves, storms and floods. The principles under which the new community registers operate are primarily resourced by volunteers, supported by police, either in a police station or a nearby secure facility, hold identifying data including name, address, telephone numbers, date of birth, next of kin and contact persons. Other information may include health status, doctor and chemist details, etc. If requested, the person will be provided with regular phone calls at an agreed frequency and time to check their well-being. Registration is voluntary and there is no fee to register. It's recommended that the participation of the local council is involved. So that's what registers are all about, and now back to the Whitehorse Register. Neighbourhood Watch has been a strong supporter of the register since the beginning, and it was proposed that Neighbourhood Watch volunteers would perform the data entry, database management and client contact. Our volunteer list of about 20 accredited volunteers, however, does include other interested individuals. The Whitehorse Crime Prevention Officer at Box Hill Police Station, leading Senior Constable Rebecca Millen, organised a meeting with representatives from the City of Whitehorse Human Services Department who were very enthusiastic about the project. Seniors Australia had also been pressing for the register to be established. So a committee was formed comprising Rebecca Millen, Fred Neat from Seniors Australia, a council representative and Graham Elder from Neighbourhood Watch. Space was made available within the proactive policing unit at Box Hill Police Station and computer equipment was purchased and installed with our grant. Peter and Ray, those grant funds have now been fully utilised, and while we receive good and timely assistance from politicians and Neighbourhood Watch, we are always on the lookout for additional support to cover our ongoing expenses. Volunteers signed on as a result of advertisements in Neighbourhood Watch newsletters and the Whitehorse Leader newspaper. We have adequate number of volunteers most times to get the job done. Our Whitehorse Register launched the Whitehorse Spring Festival in 2013 with interest and support forthcoming. After initial training sessions for our volunteers, we opened for business in February 2014. Usually we have at least 2 volunteers on duty at Box Hill Police Station on weekdays 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Brochures, application forms are available at our local police stations, Box Hill and Forest Hill. And we have also supplied most medical clinics, pharmacies, service clubs, some residents groups, to promote the register. We plan to revisit these groups to restock as we already do with our city's libraries. With the assistance of City of Whitehorse, all Meals on Wheels clients have been given information and registration forms, and many of those have signed up. And some of our volunteers deliver Meals on Wheels. Details will also be made available to new clients of council, home and community care. We have also spoken to groups of elderly Chinese folk at the Chinese Community Social Services Centre in Box Hill, aided by police interpreters, and a couple of our own Chinese-speaking volunteers. A good number joined, and Monday is our day to call the Chinese registrants and any others who have a preference for Monday contact. Our application forms may seem a little daunting to some of the elderly, but we assist with completion as much as they wish. There are over 240 people now on our register, including some married couples, with welfare phone calls being made to about 30% of them. Those who receive our calls express their very great appreciation. We also receive many thanks from our registrants for our dispatch of birthday and Christmas cards and our 3 to 4 newsletters yearly to all registrants. They get a thrill, and so do we. When first registering someone, we ask other details such as pet ownership and also who may hold a spare house key in case of emergencies arising, and if any subscribe to a personal alert system. All of this confidentially stored information can be accessed by the Box Hill Police in case of emergency. Registrants are issued with a fridge magnet and an ID card to be carried in their purse or wallet to alert others to contact police in an emergency. I'm sure that as the register grows, we will achieve our aim of helping older people or those with a disability or are socially isolated to remain in their own homes and feel safe, feel secure, have peace of mind. So summarising a little, we are a free service staffed by accredited volunteers operating out of the Box Hill Police Station in Kangarong Road, Box Hill, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, with a phone message service kicking in when unable to take a call. Our direct telephone line is 8892 3385. I repeat, 8892 3385, and for those with internet availability, our address is communityregister@gmail.com. communityregister@gmail.com. We will be happy to post out brochures, forms to interested parties, be they the intended registrant or next of kin or a friend. Finally, Peter and Ray, we are available to speak with seniors, etc. groups, and also we promote from time to time our free service at large shopping centres such as Box Hill Centro, Forest Hill Chase, North Blackburn, with our next being this coming Thursday the 18th of February at the Vermont South Shopping Centre, 11 a.m. to 1 to 1:30 p.m. To the listeners, do drop by. Thank you for this opportunity to tell our story, and I thank of all my co-volunteers for their support, as I do my mentor Graham Elder, but I am his elder, and Beck Millen of Victoria Police as our dynamic can-do person.
Thanks, Ray. Indeed. Thank you very much, Vince. That's an interesting story. I must say that you mentioned the number of 240 registrants so far. I'm surprised that number is not higher.
It has been, but we find that sometimes we reach a saturation point with one particular area, and then we go to these promos that we're like having at Vermont South.
Yes.
Or we might talk to a seniors group and we'll suddenly get a surge on and maybe another 10.
Right.
And there doesn't appear to be too much recognition of our service being out there, so we're trying to work on that all the time with being there. And we constantly have to remind people that we deal with, whether it be a pharmacist or a doctor's surgery, that this is here. If you think you have someone that might be a good person to have on our register, please arrange it.
Certainly you're attempting, from what you said just a few minutes ago, you're certainly covering a lot of the bases: doctors, surgery, chemists, and so on and so on and so on. And I guess, like anything else, it's a case of just repeating the story. And I'd be very happy to put together something that we can broadcast on a regular basis here on 94.1 for those people who may have missed our discussion this morning. If you can get some material to me that I can pull together in a shorter form, I'd be very happy to do that for you, because it's a very worthwhile cause. It really is. I think it's a great thing to do, and it's beneficial to everybody, to the registrants themselves and their friends and family, because they can rest a little more peacefully knowing that there is that service out there that can help in times of need. And that's great.
You can't have enough preparation for people that wish to stay on in their own homes.
No, that's quite right. Thank you so much, Vince.
Thank
Great
you, Peter.
talking to you this morning. Thank you. And back to you, Ray, at just coming up to 15 minutes before 10.
Well, I've got 1 minute, Peter, and I think, like Vince has said, you've both said, we need to keep telling and telling and telling, reminding people about it. I need to tell people in Whitehorse, theft from motor vehicles and theft of motor vehicles is raging in Melbourne, including Whitehorse.
Is it really?
Oh, that's the number one issue at the moment. So please put away the gear, lock up, and if suspicious, phone 000 immediately. And I guess we better call it a day, Peter, and I will remind about the Community Support Register. That phone number again is 88 92 33 85. And I'll tell you all the finer details about Neighbourhood Watch next time that I'm in, and that, I think, Peter, is Monday the 21st of March, I think.
It will be, indeed.
Yep. And you and I will be able to discuss in depth our footy teams.
The forthcoming big season.
The big season.
When Carlton are going to make a comeback.
And be in the bottom half.
I said that with a straight face.
Peter, thank you for having us.
Thank you,
Again.
Ray, as always. And thank you, Vince, for coming in. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you. And good luck with the service ongoing. I think that's terrific.
Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Ray. Bye for now. It's 13 minutes to 10 o'clock. This is BTO Backman Turner Overdrive.